If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
I write pretty much all day, every day. And
hello and welcome back to this tutorial. I'm going to show you from the ground up how to set up OBS. Now, when you add sources. So now what we're going to want to do is click the addition symbol here underneath sources to add our first source. Now, the first source that I always like to add is my video capture device. Now, the video capture device is going to be your webcam. Now, I already have one set up as my webcam, but we'll go ahead and create a new one. So go ahead and give it a name, and then go ahead and click OK. Now, once we do that, it's then going to ask us what device do we want to use as our video input. Now, the first thing you need to do is under device, go ahead and click that drop-down menu and select your webcam. If it's a USB cam, it should already come up automatically if it's plugged in, and later that you need to do that. You can also go to configure video here, and you can actually go into your webcam settings, but we're not going to do any of that today. Go ahead and click OK. And the last thing I want to show you here is that when you're adding this, if you've already added your webcam, you can only do it once per webcam. So under Add Existing, click that box there, select the webcam, and then go ahead and click OK. Now, as you can see at the top of the screen here, you're going to be able to see the webcam. Now, may have seen one device. You then want to go and change the settings and go ahead and start setting up your audio for your microphone. I'm doing this in the steps that I would normally do when I'm setting up my OBS to stream or to live stream. Now, go ahead and over in the right-hand corner, you're going to see something here that says settings. Now, if we go to settings, click on settings, we're going to see a few different things. I'm going to walk you through all of these step by step. Now, under general, there's really not much that I change here. I leave all of this the same. A lot of this is basically aesthetic stuff that basically changes the way OBS looks or the way you're streaming. Whatever key, and never show this to anybody. I mean, obvious why you wouldn't want to do a few different things. Now, not only can you stream with OBS, but you can also record. Now, I don't really prefer the recording options in OBS, but it is free, and if that's something you want to do, you can definitely record within OBS. Now, we have our streaming and recording here. We're going to go ahead and click the tab here that says streaming, and then below this, we're going to see a few different things. Now, the encoder, I leave it X24. I wouldn't change that. Again, this is more for recording purposes. And then the rescale output, you can always change this to be what you want it to be. I leave mine at 1920 by 1080 because I like to stream in 1080p. So even if you have a larger 4K monitor, you can rescale it to be 1080p, which is, changing this here. Now, if your internet, and then if you see your stream is struggling or it's handling it very well, plugged into like your speaker, underneath, I would highly recommend going down to 1080p to be the minimum or the maximum. And then if you even need to go down beyond that, 720p is okay, depending on your internet size. So again, the canvas is your display size. The scaled resolution is what the audience is going to see. So all of that's done within video. Now, we could get into like hotkeys, we could get into advanced. Now, basically with hotkeys, like if you want to start streaming, it's really easy to just click the start streaming button. But if you want that to be set up as basically a hotkey on your keyboard, you can do that. Add is called, and that's basically going to allow you to. Next source that I like to add is called a display capture. So if you go up here, go to add, and then go to display capture, it's going to allow us to capture our desktop. So for me, I have mine set up as screen capture here, but you go to create new here and then click OK. And that's basically going to allow you to record your display. So I've got multiple displays. I'm going to go ahead and choose the one here, the one that's over on my left-hand side, and then click OK. Now, as you can see, this covered up my webcam. Now, sources work very similar to layers in Photoshop. If we go to our sources panel, click and hold, drag that below the webcam, there I am. The webcam is always going to be on top because that's obviously what you're going to want to be on top of your desktop. So once you've got the settings adjusted, audio, video, display capture, all of that's good there. Normally, games can just work within display capture. So if I go over here and I go ahead and launch a game. So if I go ahead and launch my Battle.net launcher, and then I go and open up a game within the Battle.net launcher, then if I open up Hearthstone, basically it will open up on top of the display, and it will show me. So if I go here, go to Hearthstone and click play, if it opens up properly, which it should, then we're going to be able to play Hearthstone here, and you can see the game. So here's the game. Here's my face. We've already got that done with display capture. Now, you may have to, depending on the game, you may have to click. Basically, it will open up on top of the display, and it will show me. So if I go here, go to Hearthstone and click play, if it opens up properly, which it should, then we're going to be able to play Hearthstone here, and you can see the game. So here's the game. Here's my face. We've already got that done with display capture. Now, you may have to, depending on the game, you may have to click add here and then go to game capture. Now, some games, depending on if they go full screen or whatever, it's a little weird. You may have to capture the game with game capture, but for the most part, you can do display capture. I like doing display capture because it gives you a little more control as the person in charge of the stream. So as you can see here now, anything that I do over here on my other monitor with my game, I'm going to be able to see here on top of the live stream, just like you see here. So that's kind of how that works. Now, let's talk about a couple of other things that you may want to add to your scene to kind of give it a little more pizzazz, right? So basically, a lot of people ask me, how do I set up like the Twitch alerts, things like that? I've got a tutorial on how to do that, but that's all going to be done through
Hey gamers, Masoneer here again with another tutorial. From here, make sure we're under the streaming tab as we're doing this for streaming, and our encoder